Two cities divided by rivers, history, and an unyielding hatred. Newcastle United and Sunderland. The Tyne-Wear derby. It's more than football. It's a battle forged in the fires of the English Civil War, fueled by centuries of rivalry. And now, in 2025, it's back in the Premier League. This is no ordinary game. This is war. Welcome to the northeast of England, where the rivers Tyne and Wear carve through the heart of two cities just 12 miles apart. Newcastle upon Tyne, home to the Magpies of Newcastle United, and Sunderland, the proud domain of the Black Cats. For over a century, these two football clubs have waged one of the fiercest rivalries in world football, the Tyne-Wear derby. It's a clash that transcends the pitch, rooted in history, culture, and an unbreakable bond of animosity between fans. This isn't just a game, it's a cultural phenomenon, a story of pride, betrayal, and redemption. And in 2025, the fire has been reignited. Sunderland's dramatic return to the Premier League after 8 long years has brought this iconic derby back to the top flight, promising new chapters of drama, passion, and unforgettable moments. Today, we're diving deep into the heart of this rivalry, from its origins in the industrial battles of the 17th century to the modern-day clashes that shut down cities. We'll explore the fans who live and breathe this feud, the legendary matches that define it, and Sunderland's incredible journey back to the Premier League. And we'll look ahead. What does the future hold for this epic showdown? Buckle up, because this is the Tyne-Wear derby. To understand the Tyne-Wear derby, you have to go back beyond football to the very fabric of the Northeast. The rivalry between Newcastle and Sunderland predates the beautiful game, stretching back to the English Civil War in the 1640s. Newcastle, a royalist stronghold, held a royal charter granting it a monopoly on coal exports, a privilege that stifled Sunderland's growth as a port city. Sunderland, siding with the parliamentarians under Oliver Cromwell, saw its coal trade flourish as Newcastle's monopoly crumbled. This economic and political divide sowed the seeds of resentment that would last centuries. By the 19th century, both cities were industrial powerhouses, but the competition never faded. Newcastle, with its grand architecture and larger population, often saw itself as the superior city, while Sunderland, the gritty underdog, fought to assert its identity. When football emerged as the working man's sport, it became the perfect stage for this rivalry to explode. The first recorded meeting between Newcastle United and Sunderland was in 1883, but the rivalry truly ignited in 1888 with an FA Cup tie, won 2-0 by Sunderland. By 1901, the derby had become a spectacle. That year, a Good Friday match at St. James's Park drew an estimated 120,000 fans, 4 times the stadium's capacity. The game was abandoned due to crowd chaos, with riots breaking out as fans spilled onto the pitch. One of the most staggering moments came in 1908, when Sunderland obliterated Newcastle 9-1 at St. James's Park. The biggest win in derby history, and still Newcastle's heaviest home league defeat. Yet Newcastle had the last laugh, winning the First Division title that season, finishing 9 points ahead of their rivals. Both clubs enjoyed golden eras in the pre-war years. Newcastle claimed 4 league titles and 6 FA Cups, while Sunderland secured 6 league titles and 2 FA Cups, their last major trophy coming in 1973 with a famous 1-0 upset over Leeds United in the FA Cup final. But as the decades passed, the Tyne-Wear derby became less about trophies and more about local pride. With neither club consistently challenging for silverware, the derby became their cup final, a chance to assert dominance over the other. The Tyne-Wear derby isn't just about what happens on the pitch, it's about the fans, the Toon Army, and the Mackhams, who carry this rivalry in their hearts. These are two cities where football is a religion, and the derby is the ultimate test of faith. Families are split, friendships tested, and entire communities rally behind their club. The animosity can turn toxic. In the 1990s, away fans were banned from derbies due to violent clashes. In 2001, 160 arrests were made after a match, and in 2002, a pre-arranged fight between Sunderland's Seaburn Casuals and Newcastle's Gremlins was described as some of the worst football hooliganism in UK history. Even in 2013, a Newcastle fan infamously punched a police horse after a derby loss. But for every dark moment, there's passion that lights up the Northeast. St. James's Park, with its 52,000 capacity, and the Stadium of Light, holding nearly 49,000, become cauldrons of noise on Derby Day. The atmosphere is electric. Chants of "Away the Lads" from Newcastle fans clash with Sunderland's "Away the Lads." It's a sound that sends shivers down the spine. The rivalry extends beyond football. Sunderland fans still bristle at Newcastle International Airport, funded partly by Sunderland, but named after their rivals. Newcastle fans, meanwhile, mock Sunderland as the poor relations of the Northeast. This is a battle for civic pride, where every goal, every win, is a chance to claim supremacy. On the pitch, the Tyne-Wear derby has produced moments that are etched into football folklore. The record is remarkably even, 157 competitive matches, with Newcastle edging out Sunderland 54 wins to 53 and 50 draws. Every goal feels like a dagger, every save a miracle. In 1979, Sunderland's Gary Rowell, a local lad, scored a hat-trick in a 4-1 win at St. James's Park. 6 years later, Newcastle's Peter Beardsley, another local hero, answered with a hat-trick of his own in a 3-1 victory. These matches aren't just games, they're personal. The 1990 playoff semi-final was dubbed the biggest Tyne-Wear derby in history. Sunderland's 2-0 aggregate win sent them to Wembley, while Newcastle fans, desperate to stop the match, stormed the pitch. In the 2010s, Sunderland dominated, winning 6 straight derbies from 2013 to 2015, a streak still celebrated by their fans, even during their darkest days in League One. But Newcastle struck back in 2024, winning 3-0 in the FA Cup at the Stadium of Light, their first away derby win since 2011. Alexander Isak's brace and a Dan Ballard own goal silenced the Sunderland faithful, proving this rivalry is as unpredictable as ever. For Sunderland fans, the past decade was a nightmare. Relegated from the Premier League in 2017, they suffered a second consecutive drop to League One in 2018, the lowest point in the club's history. The Netflix series Sunderland Till I Die captured the despair as the Black Cats languished in the third tier for 4 years. But hope never died. Under manager Régis Lebris, Sunderland rebuilt around a core of young talent: Joe Bellingham, Eliezer Mayenda, Dan Neil, and Anthony Patterson. Despite losing their final 5 regular season games in the 2024-25 championship, they found their spark in the playoffs. A dramatic 122nd minute winner against Coventry City sent them to Wembley, where they faced Sheffield United in the final. On May 24th, 2025, Sunderland staged a comeback for the ages. Down 1-0, Eliezer Mayenda equalised with a powerful strike, and 19-year-old Tom Watson, in his final act before joining Brighton, hurled home a stoppage-time winner. The Black Cats were back in the Premier League after 8 years, and the Tyne-Wear derby was reborn. This wasn't just a promotion, it was a statement. Sunderland, a club with 6 league titles and 2 FA Cups, had clawed their way back from the abyss. For their fans, it was a chance to dream again, to face their rivals on the biggest stage, and to prove they belong. The 2025-26 Premier League season marks a new chapter for the Tyne-Wear derby. Sunderland's promotion has brought this rivalry back to the top flight for the first time since 2016. Newcastle, backed by their Saudi owners, are chasing Champions League glory and ended a 70-year trophy drought with the 2025 EFL Cup. Under Eddie Howe, they've a title-challenging pace. Sunderland, meanwhile, are the underdogs. Their youthful squad, led by Régis Lebris, will rely on pace, grit, and homegrown talent to survive the Premier League's brutal demands. The past 6 promoted teams have been relegated immediately, but Sunderland's fearless playoff run suggests they could defy the odds. The first Premier League derby of the season is already circled on every fan's calendar. For Newcastle, it's a chance to assert their newfound power. For Sunderland, it's an opportunity to shock the world and reclaim Northeast bragging rights. The stakes couldn't be higher. What does the future hold for the Tyne-Wear derby? For Newcastle, the Saudi-backed project aims for trophies and European dominance, but profit and sustainability rules may limit their spending. Sunderland, with their focus on youth, could unearth the next Jordan Henderson or Alan Shearer from their academy. Players like 17-year-old Chris Rigg and Newcastle's Lewis Miley represent the next generation of this rivalry. Off the pitch, the rivalry will remain a powder keg. Social media has amplified the banter, and while violence has decreased, the passion remains untamed. Both clubs are also community anchors, with Newcastle and Sunderland investing in local initiatives. This rivalry, while fierce, unites the Northeast in its shared love for football. The Tyne-Wear derby is more than a match. It's a story of 2 cities, 2 rivers, and 2 sets of fans who will never back down. As long as football is played in the Northeast, this rivalry will burn bright. The Tyne-Wear derby is a testament to the power of football to unite and divide. It's a rivalry born in history, fueled by passion, and now reignited for a new era. Whether you're a magpie or a black cat, one thing is certain: when Newcastle and Sunderland meet, the world stops to watch. Thanks for joining us on this journey through one of football's greatest rivalries. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share your thoughts in the comments. Are you Team Newcastle or Team Sunderland? Let us know, and we'll see you at the next derby.